Now I know technically Christmas is over. Well, technically Christmas isn't really over. You know the whole 12 days of Christmas thing. So if you wanted to do like Christmas, we're looking at going till January 6th. I don't know the details on that tradition, but January 6th was always the day that Christmas ended in our family. However, it didn't really start until Christmas Eve. The tree didn't even go up in our house until Christmas Eve. One of the things that I wanted to do this video for was a tradition that I've been holding on to, and I've been looking to pass it on to the next generations, is having live candles on a tree. Now, I've met only a handful of people that still do this, but it is something very special and not something you see very often. We usually put maybe about a dozen candles on a tree, and we light them a couple times depending on how much company we have over or what we're doing. Normally on Christmas Eve and then a couple times after that before the tree is taken down. It is fairly safe if you're careful. The tree is relatively fresh. It's not cut down in November. We try and get the freshest tree we could get from the lot. And we've lucked out on this one as well because there is a lot of space in between the branches, and we have a lot of room to put candles in around it, so there's no space that there's a real concern about a candle being too close to another branch. Like this one, for instance, when I mounted this one on there, I took two branches and put them together to clip onto, so the candle is very steady on there, so it's not really going anywhere. And this one in particular is probably the closest branch that there is to a candle. Everything else is quite spread out and has a lot of space and a lot of room. So a little demonstration. I do this every year just to reassure myself and double check the freshness of the tree and whatnot. And like I said, this tree is a few weeks old now, and it has been well watered. It's not dry, it's not losing a lot of needles, but this is one of the candles I just took off the tree. And this is the branch that I mentioned was maybe about 3 inches away from one of the candles. And that was probably as close as any of the candles were to the tree. And as I mentioned, safety is always first when you have candles, and candles are not something that you put on a tree and let burn for half hour, leave the room. They have to be well attended all the time, and please keep careful close watch of any kids that you have around the tree as well. They are not there to be played with as far as the candles are concerned. So let's take a look here. And that was only about an inch above a candle. Like no branch is even that close to one of the candles when we do have it. And that was about maybe 10-15 seconds before it started smoking. It would have combusted eventually, left in that situation obviously. I would definitely be keeping a closer eye on the distance of any of the candles or the shape of any of the candles, the length of the wicks, anything of that nature. Make sure that the candle is not leaning over, they're straight up and down so they burn properly. So many details to keep in mind if you ever do want to do live candles. Please be very, very careful and look into it. Safety is always paramount, and especially if you have kids around as well, be careful to make sure that they understand that they are not toys, anything of that nature. But it is a beautiful tradition, and something that always brings back a lot of memories for me from Christmases past as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's my little Christmas tradition for the year. The tree's got to come down this Saturday, and I'm not looking forward to that. The living room's going to look very empty.